Who was the teacher that every girl at your school knew to just not be alone with?
The dangerous ones aren't the ones you know not to be alone with. The dangerous ones were the ones who made you want to be alone with them. First of all, I have ADHD. I can confirm to you that I am off topic a good 90% of the time. And secondly, I said this because it speaks directly to my own high school experience, in which a teacher got a girl pregnant. But it wasn't just one girl that he took advantage of. No. It was dozens over the course of over 10 years. And you know why it kept happening? Because he made girls feel special. He made them feel like they were important. He made them feel like only they could understand the depth of this very special but kind of taboo relationship that they had. That doesn't make what he did to my classmates any less sexual assault. So while, yeah, we definitely had teachers that were kind of creepy and weird and nobody really liked, the teacher who was actively assaulting multiple students was the one who was widely liked. It's food for thought.
I cannot express this enough. I had this teacher twice in my 4 years of high school. He was my freshman year and senior year math teacher. This man would unintentionally hit on younger girls, and he knew he was doing it. Like, he was fascinated with the fact that I lived like 2 blocks from him. Like, I told him we lived in the same neighborhood, and he's like, oh, that's so cool, you know, maybe I'll see you sometime. And I was like, sure. And then senior year, it all stopped because he had a wife and a kid. Well, still has, I think. But like, so many girls had an experience with him. The thing on Rate My Teachers, and I quote, if you want an A from him, sleep with him.
I got a story time. His name was Mr. Schmidt. He was a 9th grade science teacher. He actually got caught sleeping with a student. She was 17 or 18, but he was married and like 40 something, right? He coached girls volleyball. That should tell you right there. And he wasn't even attractive. Like, he was like, no. But the funny part is that he divorced his wife and married the student that he slept with after he got out of jail.
So I saw this and I was like, oh my goodness, I have to stitch this. So basically my school, went to all girls Catholic school, and we had a teacher named Mr. M. He was our physics teacher, and he gave off the worst vibes ever. He stared at our chest. He called us his little sunshines. He asked students to call him Beefcake, among so many other things, that it gave us awful vibes that we finally went to our principal and confronted her about it. She took him out of class one day to just have us all rant about him. So he was our teacher that we all knew not to be alone with him, and it turned out that he did inappropriate things to a student at another school after he left my school. And he was only at my school for like 2 to 3 years, and he hopped schools every 2 to 3 years.
I'm gonna get in trouble for probably saying this. I'm not gonna say his name, but if you live in my hometown, you know who I'm talking about. We had a high school teacher, and like, he was known to get with girls after they graduate. Like, he would hit them up after they graduate. Fortunately, it did not happen to me. I'm probably not pretty enough for that. But I do know some people that he hit up in my class. It was a rumor, right? It was a rumor. We didn't know if it was true or not, but he did hit up girls in my class, and I was the class of 2018. So he's been doing it for a while, but yeah, he's still there and has not gotten fired, even though he does that to every class almost.
First, let me start off by saying that this is kind of sad that there's a lot more than just 1 or 2 schools with this issue. It's like a common issue. But when I was in high school, his name was Mr. Anderson. He was a health teacher, and everybody knew he was fucking creepy. He still works there to today. I don't think that he should have a job because of the way he does speak to young women. He failed me my sophomore year of high school in health because of the fact that I told my assistant principal that he made me uncomfortable because on Black Friday he started asking all the girls what they wanted to buy from Victoria's Secrets. And that's fucking weird. And a huge red flag is he loved the popular girls. Like the popular girls, if you don't see those teachers talking to the shy, quiet girls, there's a fucking reason for it.
The first one I can think of many, unfortunately, his name was Mr. Wickware. He was our technology teacher and he would take pictures of all of our butts when we were bent over doing our work. He also happened to be my boyfriend at the time's great uncle, and he's dead now. The uncle, not the boyfriend. But when his uncle died, I basically told him, I was like, not to be mean, but like, I'm pretty happy your uncle's dead. And he was like, I get it.
No, I don't remember the names of the teachers, but there was two specifically that stuck in my brain. The first one that I can think of was our varsity girls swim team coach, who I would say half of the girls had some type of story about him, of like him walking in onto the girls' dressing room without really knocking type of deal. Now, I don't know the whole complete titled story, but in my middle school, there was a math teacher that at least 5 girls had came forward accusing him of touching them inappropriately, making comments about their developing bodies, or just straight up trying to molest them. And I believe he was fired. I believe he was like removed from campus. I'm not quite sure how that all went, but I'm pretty sure he left and like everybody knew not to go near him.
So let me tell you a story about a Spanish teacher I had for a couple of years in high school. One time he had the window open and it was cold in the room, and so I said estoy frío, which apparently means I am frigid, not I am cold. So he started laughing, and then he asked a couple of boys in the class if they knew if that was true or not. A couple of months later, those same boys were talking about their car, and I was in the conversation, and that same teacher asked me how big the back seat was. And I told him I had no idea to ask one of the other boys in the classroom. And he said, oh, how big is the back seat in his car? Eventually somebody went to administration about it, and I had to come down to the counselor and talk to them because I was one of the girls that it was said he harassed the most. Nothing happened to him.
So at our school, Mr. P, the shop teacher, is the reason why we all started wearing our hair up to class. And it wasn't because it was a shop class. It was so that you could tuck extra pencils in your hair. And that way when he would walk by and accidentally bump your pencil onto the floor, you didn't have to lean down in front of him to pick it up. You could wait until the end of class to pick it up when you pick up your school bag, and you could just grab an extra pencil from your hair.
So there's actually a few of them. I know in my middle school it was Mr. Tush. I never actually had him, and that was his name, but yeah, there were accusations of him looking up middle schooler skirts, as well as like just being too close with them. I don't know, there's probably some in high school if I think about it too. I know the elementary school that I had already moved on from, our principal, or the principal there, got arrested for child pornography on his computer too, so I'm pretty sure there's one in high school too. I just can't think of it right now, but yeah, I'm pretty sure it's 3 for 3 if I think about it. There's a lot of students people just need to stay away from. I'll give you that. Yeah.
Mr. Camerath, whose thermos always smelled like Kahlua, taught junior and senior year chemistry. So 35 years ago, before I started dyeing my hair every month, I was a natural redhead. Mr. Camerath loved redheads. Now, he never did anything damaging to me, well, psychologically. But if you were a ginger girl, you got privileges. I never once took a pop quiz or a test in that class. He would just send us to the library for study time. And for someone who always struggled with the sciences, I was suddenly really good at chemistry. I got whole A's. I remember thinking it was just my thing, until I went to college and failed like a Trump casino. Thanks, asshole.
Mr. Pillar.
If you went to the same middle school as me, you know exactly what the fuck I'm talking about. He would be your favorite teacher in grade 7 because he was the cool, chill teacher, and he was a music teacher, and he would have all the little grade 7 girls come hang out in his classroom, and he would pick a favorite and talk about how amazing and talented they were and have them perform for the whole class. And then the compliments would get progressively creepier and the conversations would get progressively weirder until you realize by the end of grade 7 or grade 8 that he was actually creepy as fuck and should not be in the same place as children. I do not know how he still has a job in a school. It's repulsive.
I'm not going to say their name because they still work at my school, and I don't want to get called out and in trouble for this. So they're the biology teacher at my school, and they make inappropriate comments towards the females of our student body. They favor them. They sit them in the front of the classroom, and they will look down the females' shirts. They will make inappropriate comments towards them, even in the hallways. And as someone who works as on my school's newspaper staff, we legit have to send girls out in pairs to collect quotes from students in this teacher's classroom, or just from the teacher themselves if they've responded to one of our forms, because we don't trust him.
Mr. Blose, my Zulu teacher in grade 9, I remember this because he tried to ask me out in a weird way. He was touchy-feeling with the girls. He used to massage the shoulders of the girls. He used to offer his classroom for girls to hang out there. It was creepy. The man was a creep, and every girl was like, don't go there alone. Of course, he did not last a year in our school because it was found out that he was in a relationship with another girl from another school in the same city. Honestly grateful for the person who reported him, because how are you pushing 40, pushing 50 in a relationship with a teenage girl?
Mr. Patterson, not only was he the most annoying teacher that I've ever had in my entire life, we were watching some bullshit movie, I think it was The Secret Life of Walter Mitty, and he kept pausing every 5 minutes to explain it. He did the same thing for Gravity. He did the same thing for Of Mice and Men. He paused every 5 minutes to explain what was going on, as if we were too stupid to understand that Sandra Bullock was floating into space. And he played the saxophone. He would just randomly bring it to class and give us a concert that we did not fucking ask for. But he constantly perved on the grade 10 girls that he taught. It was so bad. If you were a girl and you took his class, chances are you passed without needing to do anything. I wrote my book report on a fucking fan fiction, and he did not care.
If you enjoyed the video, leave a like. And subscribe. We publish new videos every day.